Hey cuties, what's going on? You got Rock here today. So I wasn't actually planning on uploading anything today. I was just messing around on the Ranbats ladder, but I got a couple of matches that I thought were worth sharing. So here I am, I guess. So let's go ahead and get started. Um, so let's see here. Let's go slow. So I get the Claydol lead against his Landorus. The U-turn is pretty obvious here, so I decide to go for Stealth Rock because I don't want to, miss a potential read. I was packing the Ice Beam, but it didn't feel like it was worth it, again, because the U-turn was pretty free. So I go for Rocks. He brings in Kyogre, so I decide to get out of here, actually, because I didn't have anything that I could handle that could let me handle him super well. My moveset was Rapid Spin, Stealth Rock, Earthquake, Ice Beam. And so I was at -1 attack. I just wasn't going to be able to touch that Kyogre, and I was really worried about the Calm Mind setup. So I go into Excelgor. I decide to try to put him to sleep with a Yawn. And he goes for Ice Beam. Not sure why he didn't go for Rest there. I think he was making a read, but it doesn't work out. I decide to get up my second layer of my first layer of Spike, excuse me, while I put him to sleep here. So here I'm gonna bring in Tauros, really heavy hitting physical attacker, so that I can not worry about the buff special defense. Body Slam does a ton. That's sheer force boosted Life Orb, and so that's gonna be a clean 2-hit KO. Definitely don't agree with him sacking this thing. That was a huge threat. And after that, he brings in Zamazenta. So his team is absolutely busted, as you can see. I get out of there. I'm going back into Claydol, reading the close combat. I'm also trying to scout to see if he's like banded or scarfed or anything like that. So I go for the Ice Beam here, reading the Landorus, and I get it. So number one, I take out his Landorus, which is fantastic. But number two, I also know that his Zamazenta is choiced in some way. Probably Scarfed. Banded would have done more with close combat. So here I'm just gonna go ahead and sack the Claydol. I wasn't sure what his moveset would be, so he just ends up going for Crunch. I'm gonna bring in my Alchemy. So I go for the Dazzling Gleam here, just trying to get rid of that thing. As spikes are starting to take the toll on his team. So we have a speed tie here. I end up going for the Dazzling Gleam, but I don't get the speed tie. I don't win it, unfortunately. So he's able to recover that off. I'm going to switch out here, knowing that he's going to go for another recover. And so I get a free switch into Tauros. I get that Body Slam, and you can see that does so much. It's so powerful. So yeah, he's running the same set, Life Orb, same as me. So I just go for another Body Slam, expecting him to sack it. Honestly, I'm not really sure why he went into Zamazenta here, but he takes more damage than he should have, and that was pretty fatal. That thing was super deadly to my team. So I read the close combat here, and seeing that I can live another, I actually decide to go for Recover, knowing that he's going to sack his Alchemy. I knew that he was going to expect me to go for Dazzling Gleam, so I recovered knowing that he was going to sack it. Works out perfectly. He goes into Serena, so he even has a spinner to keep Zamazenta alive. I don't have a Ghost type, unfortunately. I knew that Rapid Spin was really obvious there, but I couldn't stop it, so this was my best option. Mystical Fire was just my hardest hitting move. Fortunately, I lived the Power Whip, which was cool. That was unexpected. I thought I would actually die, but yeah, so we get a double down right there. So I didn't know what his last was, obviously. I'm going to go into Tornadus because I knew that I could live any one hit from Zamazenta if he wanted to do that, and it's also just a really strong Mon, so I felt I would probably be able to one-on-one whatever comes out. And if it was something like this, I could go for the max Airstream to get my speed up to outspeed Zamazenta. So that's exactly what happens. He goes for max Flutterby. Or Flutter Bee, whatever, and it's just not enough to stop me. So that was GG. That guy had a busted team. I'll be honest, he didn't play super well, but that's okay. I'm just playing to have fun anyway. So it was fun. Anyway, so let's go into our second game that I wanted to show. So I'm playing Big Daddy Darmanitan. So what a horrible matchup here. I get the Wishy-Washy. The moveset is Hydro Pump, Earthquake, Ice Beam, U-Turn. And so he's got the Intimidate. I can't kill him with Earthquake, and to be honest, I wasn't even sure that I would be able to kill him with 2 Earthquakes. So I actually decided to get out of here with a U-turn, and I don't have anything that actually outspeeds him and can revenge kill him. So I'm actually just obligated to let him get up his 2 layers of spikes, which is really unfortunate. Did not want to do that, but that's the best I could do. I end up going for Thunderbolt, not being 100% confident that that Volt Switch would kill. So that was the logic behind that. He brings in Regigigas. You do not mess with this threat, all right? So I know that he doesn't have a great switch into Rotom because, I mean, Regigigas was his best option. So it was worth it. I wanted to burn it, but he actually brings in Togekiss. Again, kind of confirming that he doesn't have anything super great to deal with my Rotom. So I Volt Switch, get out of there, wanting to preserve it. So I go back into Wishy-Washy, which is packing the Assault Vest. That's why I felt it was a good idea. He goes for Air Slash. I take pretty much nothing. So he goes for T-Wave here, hits the T-Wave, and I get fully parried. And you guys can probably tell what happens from here. Let me actually speed it up. And I actually read this Roost. I went for a Hydro Pump, and it did not pan out. So really unfortunate. Here, yeah, I mean, you guys know what's going to happen here. So he's getting a few flinches. I missed the Hydro Pump. Ice Beam might have been better there, but again, I was kind of scouting the Roost. So here, really interesting. He gets another flinch, whatever. And I go back into my schooling form. So I know he's going for Roost here. I actually decide I'm going to U-turn, get out of here so that I can go into Rotom, get a free Volt Switch off, you know, so that I can actually have a chance of killing this thing. And then sack Wishy-Washy, knowing that he's going to go for an Air Slash. So that was awesome because now I get to take out this Togekiss, and I just decide to go for T-Bolt, again, knowing that he doesn't have a great switch in. So he brings in Regigigas. I'm totally cool with that. I'll take the burn. As he goes for a sub, really don't know why, considering how much of a threat this thing is to his team. So I go into Hippowdon anyway, trying to preserve Rotom. As he goes for a Protect, I guess he's just trying to stall out the slow start. But I don't even have Stealth Rock, so I decide to Whirlwind him out, get him away from that sub, and he switches right back in when I pull out the Terrakion. So Earthquake does a decent bit, and it's not quite gonna kill him here, but I felt like it would be worth it anyway to go for the Earthquake. But Toxic is racking up a little bit. I wasn't sure how valuable this Hippowdon would be. I knew that I would want it for Terrakion. But I figured right here, if I get my lefties and then take the toxic damage, 50% is kind of good enough to deal with Terrakion. But he brings in Zygarde. I know these things love to set up either with Sub or Dragon Dance, so I whirlwind him out of there. That's like the only thing that can make me lose. And so he ends up going back into Terrakion, unfortunately for me, and he kills me off with the Earthquake. No big deal, though. This guy, I don't know if he was trying to throw or something, but he goes for a Sword Stance here on my Dragon Dance. No idea why. That was a huge blunder, but that lets me go for, that lets me Mega and get my Dragon Dance up, and here I know he's probably packing the Ice Punch, so he Megas, goes for the Max Hailstorm. Honestly doesn't do a ton, under 50% for being quad super, so I know that these attack nerfs are doing work. Goes for Max Knuckle Punch, knowing that that another Max Hailstorm wouldn't kill me, and so at that point, I just go for a Grav Apple. I just have to hit, and I do, and Zygarde is his last. I just gotta hope that I land my Outrage so that he doesn't set up, and I land it, baby. There it is. So those were some pretty good games. I wanted to, like I said, I had fun with them. So I just wanted to show you guys what I've been up to, I guess. Upload a little bit every now and again. It doesn't hurt. But hopefully you guys enjoyed. Keeping it a little bit short today, but that's all I got. So that's it for me. Hope you guys have a great day. Take care.